I'm Alex Plows. I work here at the School of Social Sciences at Bangor University, and I've had a couple of impact awards from the ESRC Bangor University Impact Acceleration Account, and they all come out of the same piece of research. So this final impact award has been a knowledge exchange fellowship. The kind of context for the research is about 9 years ago. I was involved in a research project here which is looking at different localities across Wales and kind of comparing them, seeing what the kind of key issues were facing those regions and looking at sort of regional difference across Wales. Anglesey Aluminium, which is a major employer on the island, quite suddenly, although there have been rumblings for some time, but quite suddenly made its workforce redundant, which was like 500 jobs. But there's not huge amounts of employment, so you can imagine the impact of 500 very, very well-paid jobs going in this area. And so from that time onwards, I've been looking at what the impact's been of these redundancies, and then what different stakeholders in the region are doing to try to kind of mitigate against that impact and to develop the region's economy. Academically, people were writing about sort of labour markets and low wages and inequality in the workplace and regional disparities, and that was happening academically. And then there were people on the ground here sort of trying to put together growth deals and bring inward investment in and develop the local economy. And I thought, well, they could do with being brought more together, really. The National Assembly Research Service were working with Bangor University to say, right, well, we'd like to do some knowledge exchange, so somebody comes in with a bit of expertise and and it's useful for, I think, us as researchers. I mean, I don't, to do research that is going to directly benefit practitioners, inform policy, make a difference, and also there's an awful lot of expertise tied up in universities, so it's quite difficult to kind of get that information out or know that it's there and sort of have it as working knowledge in a day-to-day context. So that was the thinking behind the fellowship. The fellowship itself is that this is the first time it's like been a bit of a pilot to do these kinds of knowledge exchange fellowships. I was kind of going down to Cardiff and had a very privileged sort of insight to be able to sit in on some of there's the Economy, Infrastructure and Skills subcommittee. So it's kind of like a cross-party committee of assembly members, and trying to write a piece of work, a report about the North Wales economy that would reflect back and perhaps be helpful to the committee as they discussed the policy kind of dimension. It was quite a sort of dense bit of research that I sort of did or sort of followed up on, that has kind of built up over time, that has kind of hopefully got stakeholders' perspectives built into it. So it was kind of bringing together all the different sort of sources of my kind of research over the last few years and sort of distilling it into one report, which hopefully will, so the iterative bit of that is that it then goes on to hopefully be a resource for the National Assembly Research Service staff and Assembly members.